You want to listen to music in class? Sure. I'm a high school teacher who tends to have a good relationship with the students, and as such the administration would always assign the difficult classes to me. There was this one class that annoyed the heck out of me with being belligerent and pestered me at every lesson. I had a good rapport with them even though I dreaded our lessons together. One day a group of girls in the class got in their heads that if they pestered me enough that I'd let them listen to music in class. Studies have shown music to detract from learning, and I explained that to the girls. They wouldn't accept no as an answer and kept on railroading my lesson. Finally I gave in on one condition: that I get to pick the first song. They agreed and were so excited. I log onto my laptop and connect up the sound system to it. I started a 10-hour version of Sandstorm by Darude. I played it for the rest of the lesson, which was roughly 50 minutes. They laughed and thought it was funny. Some complained later that afternoon that it was still on repeat in their heads. The next lesson the girls asked again for music. I said, sure, let's do it, and continued Sandstorm from where we left off. We did another 50 minutes. This time with a lot of complaints from the girls. And only ended when the teacher came in from the neighboring classroom and lost his shit at me. I laughed when the other teacher left along with the students. It was about 5 weeks until someone was brave enough to ask if they could listen to music in class again. It took 5 weeks until someone was brave enough to ask if they could listen to music in class again. Did you put Sandstorm back on? Auckland Symphony Orchestra cover. https://youtube.be/h9r597vjbsq. I had to cover lunch detention once at my previous school. The kids in detention also asked for music. It's too quiet and boring in here. Yeah. That's the point, kid. I went to Spotify, put on by the Crash Test Dummies and left it on repeat for 40 minutes. Studies have shown music to detract from learning unless you have ADHD. I let my students put their earbuds in for seat work. As long as they aren't choosing a song for 30 goddamn minutes, I'm fine with it. When you have a large English class with behaviors and low levels, it's almost beneficial to have some of them distracted so that you can focus on the ones that want to be there for a couple of minutes. Freebird! Exclamation mark! 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 Quote. Another option. Personally, I'd go with this. In your shoes. And if I didn't think I'd be fired, I'd have played Look at My Horse on its 10-hour loop. But knowing I'd be sacked, I'd have taken to playing this as the song that never ends. Lamb Chop. To annoy them. I'd also break out some of the songs you learn as a child, because why not see if they break before I did XD. Now if you want to give them an educational music vibe, insist that only classical music can be played. Come on, man. I don't care what studies have shown. I literally can't focus either in silence or with everyone chittering around me. I kind of need my music. Not everyone is the same, and I bet those studies were done mainly on neurotypical people. I've done this. My go-to was Canon in D. Hey, music has a positive correlation on learning. I'm not sure where we've heard that music has a negative effect on learning, but I don't believe that to be correct. Like, if you personally don't want music on while you're teaching, that's understandable. But let the kids have personal music if they want it. Ah, brings back memories of old YouTube compilations and Instagram comment trolling. Some complained later that afternoon that it was still on repeat in their heads. I'm not one of your students, but it's also stuck in my head now, too. Thanks for the flashback to the early 2000s. Hey op, you cold top it with this 1H shitty flute cover. https://youtube.be/zqb8com. Genius. Another way I've seen teachers do it before is by getting song names from the kids ahead of time, and then looking up classical arrangements of those songs. No lyrics. Played slower. But it's familiar enough that the kids have fun trying to figure out what each song is. I would say save this for brain breaks though, or else they will get distracted. Studies have shown music to detract from learning source. Jesus, now I have it in my head. Thanks. You could also play. The longest music piece in the world is being performed in the city of Halberstadt in Germany. John Cage's composition for organ organ 2, ASLSP, As Slow as Possible, is resounding here in an extreme interpretation of 639 years. That means until the year 2640. Compliance requires an authority to be complied to. The notion that you view your relationship with your students as one capable of being characterized as compliance flowing from you to them, well, that's the start of the problems. You pretty much screwed the majority of your students in your petty efforts to act smart for a small portion.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.